Have you ever felt that after your spiritual awakening, the signs and synchronicities simply vanished? In the beginning, everything felt magical, repeating numbers, impossible coincidences, and a constant sense that the universe was guiding you. But now, suddenly, everything is silent. What does this mean? Have you lost your spiritual connection? Or is this silence actually a sign of something much greater? For many seekers, the journey begins with an undeniable sense of cosmic alignment. You see 1111 everywhere, your thoughts manifest in strange and immediate ways, and life seems to whisper clues at every turn. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the magic stops. No more signals, no more guidance. It feels like the universe has gone silent. But what if this silence is not abandonment, but an invitation? What if it is a call to trust in something deeper than external proof? This is where true spiritual maturity begins. Throughout history, mystics and sages have spoken of the dark night of the soul, a period where spiritual seekers feel disconnected and alone. But this phase is not a loss, it is a transformation. The disappearance of signs is not a punishment, nor is it a warning that you have strayed from the path. Instead, it is a test, a sacred transition that shifts your awareness inward. This silence is the universe's way of asking, do you trust your own wisdom? Can you move forward without constant confirmation? The key to understanding this silence lies in shifting your perception. The universe has not stopped speaking. It has simply changed the language it uses. Before, it communicated through signs and synchronicities. Now, it whispers through intuition, deep knowing, and inner resonance. Instead of seeking confirmation outside of yourself, you are being guided to rely on the power within. This is not the end of your journey. It is an initiation into a higher state of awareness. So, if you find yourself in this spiritual silence, do not fear. You are not lost. You are not abandoned. You are evolving. And in this silence, if you listen closely, you may hear something even more profound than signs. You may hear the voice of your own soul guiding you forward. Many people believe that signs are proof that they are on the right path. But when they disappear, the mind starts to doubt, did I do something wrong? Have I disconnected from the universe? In reality, the silence is not an ending, it is an invitation to a deeper level of consciousness. At the beginning of your journey, external signs serve as a guiding force, much like training wheels on a bicycle. You needed them to build trust in the unseen forces around you. But as you grow spiritually, those training wheels come off. The disappearance of signs does not mean you have lost your connection. Rather, it means that you have reached a point where external confirmations are no longer necessary. You are now meant to rely on your own intuition and inner knowing. This phase can feel unsettling. When the signs fade, doubt creeps in. The ego, which thrives on certainty, begins to panic. But this discomfort is part of the transformation. The universe has not stopped speaking to you. It has simply changed the way it communicates. Instead of constant external guidance, it invites you to develop inner trust, self-awareness, and spiritual autonomy. Think of it this way: a teacher always gives the answers. The student never learns to think for themselves. The same principle applies here. The universe is guiding you toward a deeper sense of self-reliance. It wants you to stop looking outside for confirmation and start feeling the truth within you. This is a transition from seeking to being. One of the most powerful shifts happens when you realize that you have become the sign. Your very existence, your choices, and your energy alignment are now the messages you once sought externally. The wisdom is no longer outside of you. It has become part of who you are. This is a major milestone in your spiritual evolution, one that requires faith, surrender, and trust in your own journey. So, if you find yourself missing the signs, pause for a moment. Instead of asking, "Where did the signs go?" ask, "What is this silence teaching me?" The answers will not come from the outside world, but from within your own soul. At the beginning of an awakening, Signs are a way for the universe to grab your attention. But as you grow spiritually, you no longer need these constant confirmations. You have already absorbed the knowledge. You already know how to feel energy and trust your intuition. Silence is not absence, it is proof that you are already aligned. In the early stages of spiritual growth, external signs serve as stepping stones. They guide, reassure, and help you trust the unseen forces at work. But imagine a student who never graduates because they refuse to stop taking the same beginner's course. The disappearance of signs is a sign in itself, a signal that you are now ready for a deeper understanding, one that no longer requires constant validation from the external world. This shift is a challenge, but it is also a gift. When signs vanish, it is a test. Have you truly learned to trust yourself, or are you still dependent on external validation? The ego craves certainty, and without obvious signs, doubt can creep in. But the spiritual path is not about accumulating signs, it is about embodying truth. The absence of signs is not a punishment, but a call to internal mastery. Instead of relying on messages from outside, the universe is asking you to tune into a more subtle, more powerful form of communication, your own intuitive knowing. Many spiritual teachers talk about this transition. First, the universe guides you with visible signs. Then, it invites you to trust without them. This is an advanced stage of spiritual growth, one that requires surrender and faith. It is here that you begin to understand that the energy of the universe has never left you, it has simply become a part of you. When the signs disappear, the lesson is clear: the divine connection has moved from the external world to within you. So, if you find yourself in this silence, know that it is a confirmation of your evolution. The universe is not ignoring you, it is trusting you. It is saying, you are ready to walk without needing to see every step ahead. Instead of feeling lost, embrace this phase as a milestone in your spiritual journey. This silence is not the absence of guidance, it is the most profound guidance of all. If you trust it, you will realize that the answers you seek are no longer written in the sky, but are engraved in your very soul. If you feel anxious because the signs have vanished, here's what you can do: accept the silence as part of the journey. The universe is not ignoring you. It is teaching you to hear your own wisdom, turn inward instead of seeking answers outside. Strengthen your internal connection through meditation, contemplation, and solitude. Observe your energy. Sometimes signs disappear because your focus needs to shift elsewhere. Are you aligned with your essence, or are doubts and fears distracting you? When signs disappear, fear often arises. You may wonder if you have lost your connection, if you are making the wrong choices, or if something has gone wrong. But this phase is not a punishment, it is a recalibration. The spiritual journey is like climbing a mountain. The higher you go, the thinner the air becomes. The silence is not emptiness. It is an invitation to breathe deeply and trust your ability to navigate without needing constant markers. Meditation becomes a key tool in this phase. When external signs vanish, inner stillness becomes your greatest ally. Instead of asking for more signs, try sitting in silence. Listen to what arises. Often, the universe speaks in the subtlest ways, not through grand synchronicities, but through deep inner knowing. This is the shift from seeking validation to embodying wisdom. The silence is not withholding guidance. It is training you to feel and trust your own energy. Another reason signs may disappear is that your focus needs redirection. Have you been overly attached to receiving confirmations? Have you placed too much importance on seeing signs rather than feeling your alignment? Sometimes, the absence of signs is the universe's way of reminding you to check within. The greatest confirmations do not come from the external world. They come from how deeply you resonate with your path. If you feel lost, instead of looking for signs, look for alignment. A crucial step in this process is understanding that silence is not disconnection, it is integration. Imagine downloading a powerful software update. Before you can use it fully, Your system needs time to integrate the new information. Spiritual silence is the same. Your soul is processing, aligning, and recalibrating. This is a transition from learning to knowing, from questioning to trusting. The signs were never the power you were. And now, you are being asked to own that power without external validation. So, when the signs disappear, do not panic. Instead, embrace the silence. See it as a gift, a mark of spiritual maturity. Take this time to go inward, to refine your connection, and to trust the path unfolding before you. Have you experienced this phase? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your journey might inspire someone who is going through the same transformation. And now, the moment of truth. If the universe has gone silent, it is because you no longer need it to speak in the same way. You have evolved beyond external confirmations. The greatest spiritual power does not come from receiving signs, it comes from becoming the embodiment of wisdom itself. This is the transition from seeker to master. The silence is not emptiness, it is the final lesson, the one that shows you that everything you were looking for has always been within. The universe no longer needs to guide you with visible clues, because you are now the guide. You are meant to move forward with trust, no longer asking for direction at every turn. This is spiritual sovereignty. This is true alignment. Many fail this test. They panic when the signs disappear. They interpret the silence as abandonment rather than elevation. But those who embrace this phase with trust, those who learn to listen to the silence, discover something profound. The universe has not stopped speaking, it has simply shifted to a higher frequency. And the only way to hear it now is through your own inner resonance. You do not need a sign because you are the sign. You do not need guidance because you have become the embodiment of divine wisdom. You do not need to ask because you already know. This is your moment of transformation. It is not an ending, it is a new beginning. You are no longer just following the path, you are the path itself. And as you step into this new reality, trust that the silence is not a void, but a space filled with pure potential. The next chapter of your spiritual journey does not require signs, it requires you. Are you ready to embrace it? Spiritual silence does not mean you have lost your connection. It means that you are now ready to feel that connection without needing external proof. This is a huge step in your evolution. The journey of awakening begins with signs, synchronicities, and external validations. But the final stage of mastery is understanding that the power has always been within you. The silence is not rejection, it is an initiation. It is the universe's way of saying, you are ready to stand in your own light. No longer do you need confirmations from the outside world, because your energy, your intuition, and your inner knowing are now the only guides you need. Instead of fearing this silence, embrace it. Let it be the space where your own wisdom rises. Let it be the signal that you have arrived at a new stage, one of deep trust, unwavering alignment, and true self-mastery. The absence of signs is not the absence of guidance. It is the graduation into a higher state of being. Have you experienced this phase? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next revelation. There is so much more to explore on this journey, and the next video might be exactly what you need to hear. You are not alone, this community is here for you.